Okay, this is going to be a short video. I'm going to be posting some pictures on the forum, basically showing the before and after of what I'm doing here. Okay, this here is the cowling that goes under the windshield wipers, which are also here. Before I get to this, I'm just going to go out here and show you where it goes, just so you know. Got the rear one off as well, doing it. Goes right here. And let me tell you, the thing was a pain in the ass to remove. They said on the Z forums that the first time the wipers come off, it's a bitch, and that you may have to take a hammer to hit the bolts to get them to come off. They weren't lying. I had to take a hammer and hit the bolts to get them to pop off. Very annoying. Anyways. Okay, this is a rear wiper. This is with about 3 to 4 coats of Krylon. It's plastic paint, but it does not look as good as the Plastidip, which I've been using for the cowling. Stuff is very, very thick. It's still wet because I just put a second coat on both the cowling and the wipers. But when you see the before pictures of this cowling and then what I'm showing you now, it looks amazingly better. And this is the Plastidip. This is the stuff that you can get in a can. You can dip your tools, the end of it, in there, and it keeps you from getting electrocuted if you're stupid enough to stick it in a socket. Okay. This here is the rubber grommet that goes onto the cowling to keep water out. It was physically so old and so worn out that it was stuck to the windshield. I ended up cracking this when I peeled it from the windshield. Did not mean to, but I did anyways. If you're wondering why it looks wet, it's because I just put some silicone on there to waterproof it and to help lubricate it, because it's that dry rot. As you can see right here, it's all cracked and it is conformed to this shape. Anyways, this stuff is okay. It's a satin black. It's okay, but it's not as good as Plastidip. Definitely recommending that if you want to paint something like plastic or metal. Anyways, the only updates really on the car is I drained the radiator for the 3rd time and it came out a little orange again. Not as bad as it was, but it's gotten better. I finished cleaning the throttle body yesterday and the car is idling better. The idle is still fluctuating a bit. I can't start the car up for you because the starter's gone. I mentioned that in the last video. I got the rod gone because I actually have painted it to a Plastidip and it looks a lot better than it was just aluminum. Anyways, I refilled the radiator with antifreeze today after draining the water out that I had soaking in there, and it came out orange and mostly clear by the end, but it looked a lot better than it did the first 2 times. The first time it was horribly orange and the smell was just absolutely disgusting. I cannot even begin to describe the odor. Second time, no smell, but still orange. And then 3rd time, less orange, no smell. So, better, getting there. Got a key cut. I think I mentioned I ordered a 300ZX key. Yeah, I got it cut. Interesting thing is, it'll turn the power of the car on. It will not start the engine. For some reason, I'm actually painting the end of this. This stupid Walmart key is the only one that will start the car. So whoever changed the ignition switch screwed it up, because the Nissan key won't start the car, and it's made for it and it's got the same threads. So there's that. Got it all jacked up now. Really can't think. Oh, yes, there is. That freaking wire, you know, the amp that the guy hooked up. I still got this wire in here that was physically hooked up to the speakers, but, oh yeah, did I mention the shocks are adjustable? Because they are. Popped that open today, and I got the freaking wire out, because every time I go to shut the hood, this thing right here is getting in my way of shutting the hood. I finally got fed up with it, and I just cut it out of the car. I got tired of it. So that's gone. It's just one thing at a time. Once I get this done and put it back on the car, that little bit there will look a little better. Do a couple more things like this a little bit at a time until I get the money to do some major things. The next thing I'm going to try to do is get the seats done and the steering wheel. I got to get the leather for that. That's not that expensive, I mentioned that, but the thing is, the upholsterer is going to charge me an arm and a leg to have it done, so that's going to wait. Anyway, here's the hood rod. Got it painted. All you're seeing now is black. It was just aluminum gray. It looked terrible. It looks a lot better now. It's still wet, so I'm not going to touch it and try to show you it. So I'll take another video tomorrow, or pictures or something, once this stuff's dried. I got 2 coats on here. I'm going to put another 2. I'm not going to bother anymore with the wipers. They look bad. You'll see it in the pictures that I'm going to post. They look bad, but I'm not going to bother painting them anymore. I've already put 3 coats of the Krylon, then I put 2 coats of the Plasti Dip, so that's enough of that. But I'm going to put 2 more coats onto the cowling itself, because the Z-Form recommended at least 4 coats, and so does the can, so I'm going to put 4 coats on there. And already the bumps I've had to sand here are almost gone. This stuff is incredibly, incredibly thick. So far so good. Anyway, I'm going to call it at that, because I'm already at 7.